Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the stabilization features on the Canon Powershot V1. Let's do it. Run the intro.
Oh my god, I'm just playing with them now, yeah. Oh my god, what she saying, say it loud.
So right now, the stabilization features are off. You got three options. You got off, you got on, and then you have enhanced. And each time you go up one, it increases the crop by a little bit each time. So when you put it on enhanced, to me it looks like it's about almost like a 50mm crop relatively to, you know, how the shot looks. So this is like 17mm, I think, the full wide without any stabilization on. And I feel like for shots like this, having no stabilization on is fine, because if you're just pointing at yourself and you're walking around, it's generally pretty smooth still. But as soon as you turn the camera around and you look at something in front of you, you can start to see like the wobbles on the side of the camera. So I guess I'm gonna show you which ones to use in what scenarios, when you should be using stabilization or the enhanced version, you know, and we're just gonna test it out. So I'm gonna go out and get some shots. We're gonna talk about it, and it's good to be making a YouTube video again. All right, so we're out here at the local park. I intend on doing some stabilization tests. First being the no stabilization. So it kind of already has a little bit of stabilization in the lens itself. There are two other modes. It's standard, I think, and then enhanced. Right now, it's as wide open as you can get. I would equate it to like if you have a 16 to 35mm lens, it's a 16mm. It's as wide open as it goes. And for little cameras like this is like one of the best examples of a good wide focal range, because I've seen these cameras before, and every time, what the hell is that? Whose car makes that noise? Can you hear that? Anyway, every time I've seen these cameras before, it's always not wide enough. But this one is. So that's why I got it. Primarily because it's got a wide focal range. I'm gonna head out into the trail. Hopefully there's not 1,000 people there, because I don't like filming in front of other people. I don't know if that's an apparent thing with everybody else. I don't know how these YouTubers do it. Just walk around in public with their camera pointed at them and they're just talking like it's not a big deal. I'm already 6'3", so I kind of stick out. And when you put a camera in my hand, and I guess the way that I look, people just kind of stare at you like, what's that guy doing? Anyway, we're gonna head out. I'm gonna do some tests, and then we're gonna wrap this video up. It's a short video. If you'd like to see me do a full, thorough video on this camera, I might do it. Just leave it in the comments below. Let me know if that's something you'd like to watch. It'll be like a longer video. This hopefully is not gonna be too long of me just rambling and talking about nothing. So I'm gonna head out. I'll come back. I'll tell you what I did, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, so first test, holding it just out of like arm's length, no stabilization on. Which way do I go? Do I go left or right? Let's go left. I'm not doing anything extra, just kind of holding it out in front of me, no stabilization. And yeah, this is what this looks like. This is like an open field over here. Oh my God, my nose, so itchy. Full disclosure, I am using a little stubby tripod to hold this, so it's not like, you know, not holding just the camera by itself. I don't know if this is part of the park or not. I have my camera set to shutter priority. I believe that is the TV mode, because I like to keep it at 1/50th for the 180-degree shutter rule. God, my nose. So yeah, this is what this looks like. No stabilization. How does it look? I don't think anyone comes up here. I just walk through a spider web. And on my feet too. That's great. All right, let's switch to standard stabilization. All right, so we're holding it. I guess it's just on. It's not like standard. It just says on. So this is on. First step up for stabilization. Just walking at a part of the park that I don't think I'm really supposed to be. but here we are. How's this look? How's the stabilization? You can probably tell that it already cropped in a little bit, so there's that to take note of. How's it look? Is it shaky or is it smooth? Why does it sound like it's raining right now? Just gonna keep walking for a little longer. I don't know where the hell this trail, I think this trail just ends right here. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this trail. Guess we'll head back the other way. Facing the sun, sun's right there, up top. So, all right. Now for the next test, we're gonna go to the enhanced stabilization. And we'll see how that looks. All right, we are now in the enhanced version of stabilization. And I can see it. If I had to guess, it's like a 35mm equivalent of being zoomed in. But you know, how's this look? How smooth is it? Let's get some background in there. Let me switch hands. I'm a lefty. Right hand. It's hard to like keep me in frame for some reason, because I'm looking at the screen on the left or on the right side of the camera. So I kind of like give myself lead room that way for some reason. But yeah, we're out here. Hopefully it's not too bright for the auto ND filter. But yeah, here's the enhanced mode. A little too cropped in for me, but if it's smooth, I guess that's all that matters, right? I love that I found a part of the park where no one goes. That's pretty sick. How's the autofocus working? I don't know. I think it looks pretty good, but like you gotta hold the camera out a little. I'm still holding it the same length that I was before. So you can obviously tell that it's cropped in quite a bit. So, all right, now what I noticed is that when you are in no stabilization and like you're following someone or just walking, you tend to see the motion shake, or like it's kind of like a shutter roll. You see that a little bit more prominently when you're like looking far away from you instead of like, you know, facing me. So I'm gonna do facing that way now. So looking at stuff as I walk. All right, so here's the, I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing no ninja walk or nothing. I'm just kind of holding the camera by the stubby and we're walking. And we're walking. I noticed when I was out walking with my wife before that you really notice the shutter roll when you're in this mode. It's like, you know, it's not terrible, but it's not great at the same time. I'm going to get ticks all over me. I can already feel it. I'm totally not supposed to be back here, I don't think. This is not a part of the park. But whatever. All right, let's turn off standard, or off. It's actually set to off right now. So I'm gonna turn off the off, and then we're gonna go to on. All right, stabilization is on. So it should be punched in a little bit. I just got stung by bit by my first mosquito of the season. So that's how you know you're outside. How's this look? Is it more sturdy? I'm also holding the camera with one hand by the stubby grip. Same way for every shot. Doing nothing special or extra. There's the geese. And I'm walking, I don't know what this is, like some kind of like ravine thing. Or like a mound, I guess it keeps the water in here. I feel like this used to be like some kind of lake where they're trying to create a lake. But I think it's just breeding mosquitoes. You know, that stagnant water. Pretty rad, dude. Goose. I think we're gonna do the enhanced stabilization to continue this test. So let me just pause this. All right, now we are enhanced. So again, like you're probably not gonna notice too much of a crop in. I mean, you probably will. I will when I'm going to edit this. See the crop of the stabilization. How was that? Dismount, was it smooth? Was it everything you hoped for? I mean, on the LCD screen, it looks like it's doing its job. It's just kind of hard to tell. And again, I'm not doing like the ninja walk to try and make this more smooth than it really is. This is just me walking casually, as you would when you're out filming, you know, your everyday life. This is marketed towards vloggers, so, you know. All right, now we're back to off. And I just like this mode more because you get so much more in the frame. Like you just see so much more. But you're gonna suffer the consequences of a little bit of jitter and stuff, especially if you're not walking carefully. So, I don't know. You be the judge, I guess. It's also really nice out today. Yesterday was like 60 degrees. Today we're at like 75. It's like perfect weather. I am sweating a little bit because, you know, I'm working real hard out here, you know, to do this. So, yeah. You let me know. Oh my God, the baby ducks, or the baby geese. I gotta try and get a closer look. Baby birds are the cutest thing on earth. I'm gonna put it into an enhanced stabilization and we're gonna get a closer look at these baby ducks, geese, wherever they are. I don't know if you can see them or not, but I can. They're kind of in those weeds. They're so freaking cute. Check out this slow zoom out, dude. Yeah, they're like right in there somewhere. Hi, editor Justin here. I don't know why or if it just looks that way, but it seems like there's so much jitter on the stabilization features. I don't know if there was something that I did with the frame rate, but something didn't look right. And I still stand by the fact that I don't like to use that digital stabilization stuff. Maybe if you can't hold it straight, invest in a gimbal, but I think, you know, you can still get away with some good shots even if it's not stabilized. I mean, if you're pointing the camera at yourself, it's fine. Unless you're running down the street, you know? But at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe stop and film and then continue walking again. Maybe don't just try to get nothing but walking shots. I don't know, I just had to add this in here because I was going through the edit and I was like, man, someone's gonna say that looks like crap, and that's me. I'm doing that, I'm telling you that. I'm not a huge fan of the stabilization in this, and that's okay. It's not a perfect camera, but it almost is. So anyway, all right, I don't know where I'm gonna put this in the video, but back to the video now. I just wanted to fully zoom this in to see how that looks. If I hold it straight out. Like this is my arm fully extended. Full zoomed, no stabilization. I bet I look insane because I feel insane. I wonder how it looks if I had it like stabilized. Hold on, let's check. All right, so we're enhanced and fully zoomed in and stabilized. So that's what that looks like if you're interested in doing that for probably no reason. I can't stretch my arm out far enough to get more than my head in the shot, so that's how it looks. You know, we're just out here testing stuff, you know? There's freaking spider webs all over this place. I know for sure. There's ticks dropping on me right now. You know, I like the outdoors. I don't like the bugs that come with the outdoors. It's just not it for me. I don't know. But it's like almost June and it's not even hot yet. What's going on, dude? It's so nice back here. There's a shitload of cars in the parking lot, but I guess they don't walk further than 100 yards. They just kind of go to that first little lake that's there. And I guess, you know, do their thing. I'm out here doing my thing in the backwoods. Just look at it though. Get off me, bugs. Yeah, we're gonna be definitely going over myself with a fine tooth comb later. So I'm shooting in shutter priority, but somehow it got turned down to, I guess when I'm flipping the camera around, it turned to like 20, a 20th of a second. That's just not great for me. How's it going?
Oh, good. How are you?
Enjoying the nice weather finally.
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully no ticks though.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're back on 1/50th, because if you didn't know, when you're making videos, there's a natural motion blur that occurs with the shutter, and that is double your frame rate. So I'm shooting in 24 frames per second, so if you double that, the shutter speed should be about 1/48th, but you round up to 1/50th, and then you get like a nice little natural motion blur. Other than that, it looks a little choppy, a little too digital. So this is like, you know, the most ideal to, like, you know, visually pleasing, I guess you would say. Anyway, we're still shooting on no stabilization for these talking head shots, because I feel like it looks better. And yeah, if I was running, I might put the stabilization on more, but my hand's pretty steady as it is, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, we out here, 1/50th, 50th. Hopefully the audio sounds good. I did a small check earlier. It sounded good when I tested it, but you know, like anything, sometimes you miss things and there's some errors. But we're out here, we're doing it. Happy Memorial Day, that's when I'm filming this, so shouts out to the soldiers who lost their lives in battle due to injuries sustained while in combat or later on in life. So shouts out to the armed forces, keeping us safe. I even did a moment of silence earlier at 3 o'clock, because that's when you do it. If you didn't know, now you do for next year. All right, so we are back in the truck. You know, got my exercise in for today. Woman, back in the truck, itchy. I feel like there's bugs all over me. So we're gonna have to go home and shower. It's hot in here, but it feels good at the same time, like a mini sauna. I wonder if do you think people actually like would sauna in their cars in the summertime, for like get in there for like 10, 15 minutes and just sweat it out? Is it the same thing or is it not the same thing? I feel like it is. It's still just hot, you know? And some days I get in my truck and I'm like cold because I work in an office. This is too much information, but I work in an office all day and I just come and sit in my truck and it's just hot to like bring the blood back to my fingers and feet. Is that just me? Tall person problem? Could be. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. In the comments, let me know what looks good to you. Personally, I prefer not having the stabilization on because I like to be able to use the lens as wide as it can go, because that's why I bought this camera. Like I said before, I feel like that looks better. I love that wide field of view, almost fisheye, but not exactly fisheye. So, you know, with that being said, stay safe, keep shooting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.
Yeah. So close. Aww.
Almost.